What's up, my people? It's your guy, Dynamics, and I'm here with another one of Boss Reactions. What's up, guys? Okay, so I got some good ones today. Oh, also, I want to mention that today is Halloween where I'm at right now. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of parties going on and trick-or-treating happening tonight. So definitely, if you're going to go out, definitely be safe. It's also that time of the year where a lot of criminalistic, situations happen. I don't want to have to like be reacting to one of your videos on Boss Reactions, basically. So let's try and keep everything safe, definitely, and do everything smart. So all right. So today I'm gonna do a little bit extra. I'm not gonna do just the normal two videos. I'm gonna try and do three. All right. So I'm bringing someone new that I'm going to react to today, and that will be YouTuber by the name of Julian Magic. He's pretty cool. I like the way his videos are. He's a magician, a modern day magician. So he's obviously got all the CGI down pat, all the gadgets, all the mechanisms, the show and the fireworks. So everything's good. I got his YouTube channel, what stuff going, and also have some Halloween YouTubers called Meet the Lobsters. Meet the Lobsters is a couple YouTube team, and they're pretty good as well. They're pretty popular. So they have millions of subscribers and views as well too. Definitely go check them out. Also I have one from well, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do for the third one. I was gonna do a third video, so uh, I'll probably go with something I feel familiar with. But anyway, all right. So let's go ahead and continue with that. All right. So all right. Next, I want to mention our Cash App is right here. If you want to help the development of Boss Reactions, definitely donate whatever you feel like. It will definitely help develop the channel. Also, if you want any Boss merch, you can get a Boss hat. You can get Boss merchandise, T-shirts, whatever the case may be. Just contact the About section on the Boss Reactions YouTube channel. You'll see the phone number and email there, and I will definitely get back in contact with you. We have everything from T-shirts, customized T-shirts, hats. If you want your name on them, you can also request that as well. And also we have chains as well too, gold and silver. Definitely. All right, so let's get on with the show. All right, so we're going to start off with Julian Magic. That was a good one. That was a real good one. Wow.
Excuse me.
The guy head drops like I've seen that before. I like how his reaction was like really slow. Like he turned and was like, okay, like slowly got up, and everyone else just kind of turned and just walked away, like in the urgency. That was hilarious. I like that. I don't. It didn't look staged. It looked like it was real. I mean, it didn't look fake. So that was funny. I mean, come on now. You look at this guy's mask, right? I mean, I've seen him before. This is a guy, Julian Magic, YouTube channel. He's pretty popular YouTuber. This guy, mask, like that's obviously a fake mask. Like that cannot be a real elderly man. Like if you just look at that right there, you know for a fact that is not a real person. Like that's what makes me think a lot of his stage. But I mean, he does do some good shows though. I will say that. That was good. That guy literally, he knew something was wrong with that whole scenario. Like he was walking, he just stopped and was like, "Wait a minute, why is there an orange ball in the middle of the walkway right there?" He's like, kind of stares at it, and as soon as it exploded, my man just turned and booked it. That guy was gone, bro. That was funny. Yeah, it was like people still doing the Pennywise clown prank scares. It looks like, you know. What? Wait, he sneezed his head off. I'll be creeped out from that too. I mean, I'm just saying, like, the guy right there with his family, I mean, that already seemed kind of sus. I mean, like, it's suspect. The guy just stops, sits next to you. Is like, really? Like, and you don't think that's kind of odd? The guy's dressed in all black just comes sit next to you? Okay. You see the little girl's face. The little girl was just kind of like, really? Like, she gave more of a, like, really look like, what the, you know what I'm saying, look than the parents did. The parents kind of just was like, like, what? The little girl was like, you really just gonna make a book catch on fire like that? Like, really? Wow. Look, she wasn't even scared. The little girl just was like, what just happened? Wait, how does he got the flame that close to his face without getting burned? Like, they must have got like a built-in fan or something like that, so where it kind of like blows like the heat that way. That's why the flame is burning more toward like, the left side rather than like, going toward his face. Oh, okay. The old man skateboard prank. Can't forget this one.
Let me see you do a kickflip, man.
Hey, wouldn't it be cool if it was like really an old man? Like, let's say like from like, I don't know, like 50 years from now, and like, let's say like one of these pro skaters out here grow to be old and all they ever did their whole life was like skateboard, and you actually meet a real one day who's like 80 years old, goes out to like the skate yard and just like starts demolishing kids. Like, could you imagine that? That would be intense. That would be crazy. Like, he would literally go famous overnight. Like, I'm just saying that for any of the skateboarders out there right now. If you grow old doing it and you're still good when you're 80, who knows, technology might keep your bones stronger than normal. You might still be able to do it. This may be talking about you. Maybe a hint, subliminal message. Really? He chased him. That's funny. This man walking down the street with the book on fire. Like, he was really concerned. You see that? He was like, what? He didn't know what to do. I had to stop it right there. I knew that was about to happen. It's funny how everyone just thought he was creepy without him saying nothing. Everyone just stopped what they were doing and started staring at him like, they were just like, okay, this isn't right. And then my man drops his head off his shoulders. Oh my God. He was laughing, but he was still running at the same time. That's funny. Yo, how she was? Okay, wait a minute. She turned around and ran into the wall. She ran into the elevator wall, right? She turns around, faces him, then starts to scream after she stares at it for a second. That was the most funniest reaction right there. That was funny. That was hilarious. What the? This guy's a savage, bro. They're like, what? Like, you see no smiles. Everyone's just serious faced, like, what? Huh? Like, how is this happening? Is this really happening right now?
Help me out, baby.
Wow. I'm sorry, but that guy looked like he did not want a hug. He looked like he was like, what the f is going on right now? Like, look, let's go back real quick. Look at this guy. Look at this guy's reaction when he hugged him. Look at that. He looked like that. That black guy looked like he's in distress right now. He is like, what the heck is going on? Is this guy really hugging me right now? I'm about to be all over YouTube tonight. Look at this guy. Hilarious. Oh, if you don't know, this is the YouTuber right here. This is Julian Magic. Definitely go over to his channel, like, subscribe. He's been around for a while now. Really popular. Yeah, definitely check him out. Oh, also, don't forget to like and subscribe BOSSREACTZ YouTube channel as well.
I think this street looks quite scary. Let's do something here.
All right, now if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if he shoots his YouTube videos in America. I think this is like this may be in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a lot of these famous like pranksters be in Europe because a lot of them don't get away with that shite over here in the U.S. To be honest with you, but there's a few though. Yeah. Look at the guy's face. It's like, for real? Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. That's too funny. My man didn't even move, bro. He sat there like, what the? He literally just stopped what he was doing and just stared at him like, how is he reading that book? He's really trying to comprehend how he's reading this book right now.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a lighter? Thank you.
So, no, that was pretty good. I like that. I like that. Wow. Like, do people really check this box on the beach, like, in hopes, like, maybe it's some treasure in there? Let me see if there's some treasure in there. Like, the first thing I'm going to suspect is that it's some sort of, like, animal or carcass or something like that. I mean, like, really, like, I would call the police. I wouldn't even, why would you even try and touch something like that? I mean, no, I probably would open it, to be honest. Come on now. Right, okay, hold on. So he know he wrong for this, man. Come on, you literally got like elderly people fall and hitting their back. How you know this prank right here and cause her like back issues for the future? You know what I mean? Like I mean, he can get sued for stuff like this. You know, because like That's why you got to be careful as a YouTuber, because especially prank videos, I think they're probably like the most like liable when it comes to like being a YouTuber, because you literally have millions of possible witnesses, watching you basically frighten people, scared them to death, have people run and hurt themselves. And we already seen the girl run into the elevator wall earlier. We seen her just now fall on her back, and there's a whole bunch of things that happen. But it's like people get hurt. They could just be like, hey, go get a lawyer and be like, this is the video right here with all the views. See the one with all the hundreds of thousands and millions of views? Yeah, that's where I fell and hit my back. Right? But at the same time, though, from what I understand, they sign waivers. You know what I mean? Like, basically saying that, hey, you allow me to use this footage in my YouTube video, um, so I can't, so you can't sue me, so the YouTuber can't be sued. They'll ask them after the fact. They scare them, like, can you sign this paper as waiver saying that, you don't mind being used in a YouTube video? But that doesn't mean someone else can be affected by the person falling. Maybe they mentioned that in the waiver, or that it's someone that didn't like it and they didn't have them sign the waiver, and maybe their friend got footage or someone else got it, they can still get in trouble for it. That's all I'm saying. YouTubers go to court all the time.
No! No!
He actually chased her. Wow. That woman probably had nightmares. Probably reminded her of her ex-husband or something. Why did he... Yo, these guys really trying to comprehend, like, how is he reading the book? They're like, is he seeing through the flames with X-ray vision? Bro, the book is on fire. Why are you trying to figure it out? He's like really trying to figure it out. He's like, all right, there we go. What the? Yo, I can't. Yo. Yo, his whole reaction to that whole clown popping out of that umbrella, he just was like, yup. Always the Mondays. Always on Mondays. Just turned around, just finished eating the Subway sandwich. Like that, or he might have a firearm in his coat right there, and he just don't want to shoot the guy for being stupid. Either way, this is stupid as hell. Well, he's trying to get a reaction. It ain't working. Wow. What? He trying to throw hands, bro. My man tried to throw hands. He was like, why you in my face laughing, bro? Like, this stupid ass clown outfit on. Like, he was really about to beat dude ass. Hey, at least we know now he ain't got no gun under his coat. That was funny. He was ready to square up. You made me throw my sandwich. What's wrong with you?
It was a prank, bro. Excuse me.
Oh, well, it's too late, bro. It's too late. Pissed him off. He's mad now. Whole day ruined. Hey, the fact that he wasn't scared, I give him props. He literally just stared at him. He laughed. Oh no. Hold up. I just realized he just threw up the double insignia. Bro, look at his shirt. I just realized he got the symbol, he got the haircut. Yo, he probably think it's real too. He probably be like, oh, okay, that's what we normally do. Yo, that's crazy. Satanic worshiper. Look, he's actually engaging into it.
You like it? Nice.
Likes. What? Yo, his reaction, he didn't even get mad. He got mad, but he didn't jump. I mean, he didn't get scared. He like looked at him like, what? Like, what you doing?
Not afraid of you.
So I ain't scared of you.
Calm down. Hey, calm down.
That wasn't scary.
It was scary. Yes, it was.
Do you have lighter? Thanks.
Look, he really trying to figure it out. He not scared either. He got a gun?
Hey, it's a prank. 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 The camera. It's camera. Hey, camera.
Hold up. I knew that was going to happen. I was like, somebody going to have a gun. Bro, that's what was happening in the U.S. In the USA, a lot of people was getting clapped up. The clappery was real in the U.S. when them clown pranks was popping up back when the movie It got re-released out in movie theaters, and everyone across, the U.S. was dressing up like clowns and trying to jump scare everybody in their cars, on the streets, whatever, at night, And yeah, people was getting shot up. It was a lot. That's why I stopped. You don't hear no more clown pranks happening in the U.S. no more. But that's a prime example right there. And I don't even think this in the U.S. My man had the burner on him. Yeah. You notice he's walking away with the book in front of him. Probably because of the heat. Damn, that was
What? What?
What do you want?
Well,
What you want?
Bro. It's a prank. Calm down. Calm down. It's a prank. It's a prank.
She's really scared. Oh, man. The heck is that? Stop. Stop. Are you serious? My man got a flying ghost doll. Alright, you know what? That's a first. I haven't seen that before. That's a pretty good idea. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's a good one right there. I wonder if he's controlling it. He must be controlling it. What? It makes noise too? Wow. Wow. Look, it's actually following the van. Look at this. Wow. Look at that. That's actually pretty good. I mean, the control that he's using for that and everything. I wonder if it's a drone, but I can't see that being a drone because the blades would have to be covered and it couldn't get the lift that it needs. I mean, I don't know. That's pretty good. Maybe some sort of remote controlled helium device. Like he can control the level of like height and, where it lands and everything like that. But that was pretty good, It's probably people still believing that was real from that day that, didn't see the YouTube video. Like, that's crazy. We just saw this guy. Are you giving us a double take on this? Like, yeah, that was crazy, though. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, guys, Julian Magic. Check out his YouTube channel. Pretty well known guy. He's pretty good. Yeah, Julian Magic. Yeah, this right here, bro. That had to have been the funniest reaction. That was the funniest one.
What's up, guys? This is Julian Magic. Today we're doing the old man head rope prank.
Alright, so... Okay, hold on. So, it is him. This is Julian Magic, actually, doing this. Okay. He's showing you the cuts. The scenes where he actually, was making it. We haven't seen this one. Like, she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, should I leave or... Oh, man. Look, anyone can see this man is not a real old man. That's why everyone's looking at him. Look at that. Come on. Like, the old man legitimately looks like a goblin. Like a legit goblin. I guarantee you the people that he's borrowing, like, these things from, like the bikes and the skateboards, they're probably all with the team, you know? Like, everyone else is probably not in on it, but I'm just saying, like, the people, like this guy right here in the blue, like, he's probably with the YouTuber or friends with him, or they already spoke before the whole set was even put together, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's why he's laughing like that. If they gave him some hair, he might look a little bit more realistic. The old treasure chest. Ah! Wow. It'd have been funny if they ran out to the sea. Look, she's like, you weird.
Excuse me. Is this your car, Luna?
Excuse me?
Is this
Yes, this is my car.
Sure?
Yes.
He couldn't wait to do that. You could tell he couldn't wait. How's he doing that? Wait, hold on. I didn't see anything in his hand, so it must be somebody else like controlling it, like behind the camera, and like he's just like moving his hands along with the ghost balloon, whatever it is. It's pretty cool though. Okay. Okay, she didn't see that? Oh, okay. She didn't see the front of it. Okay. Wow. The arms give it some realism. I like the arms coming from it. Yeah, them flames are hot. Look, everyone stopped like, what?
Excuse me? Could you just possibly help me with this cheat? I have a broken arm. You just jump over here, maybe? If you just give me a hand, yeah. You had a good day?
Don't tell me you're gonna transform into a clown. Pennywise strikes again. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is this?
Damn cold from Sweden.
Ew.
Oh, sorry.
Something like that was coming.
Ew.
sorry. It was a prank. I'm a YouTube prankster doing street magic and stuff. So hope this is okay. Was it okay?
Did you film us?
Yeah, we filmed it. It's right there.
Oh my god, hi!
And so yeah, the channel name is Julian Magic. If you want to go check it out.
He's
Is
about
it
to ask
okay?
him to sign a waiver.
Yeah, is it okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Julian Magic.
Julian Magic. So I do magic, street magic and things, and I do pranks. So this is like the sneezing on the beach prank. But your reaction was epic. I think it was the best of today, man.
Oh, this is also how YouTubers get a lot of female fans. They'll do the prank on the females, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you know, I run a YouTube channel. You don't mind being on it?" And they're all like, "Yeah, I want to be on a YouTube channel." They'll be like, "Okay, give me your phone number." Bro, this is like the oldest line and pickup for every YouTuber. I swear.
Wait, what, how did I react?
You were like falling off. You know, you felt like over. Well, thank you very much for being a part of this.
Thanks for not actually sneezing on us.
Oh, no, I didn't. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just gonna collect this.
Yeah, I got really freaked out. I was like, why the heck is that guy sneezing so much?
Let's do... Kom då, ska vi köra en ava? Okay, so we can say like an outro thing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys for watching. Hör du mig bra? I got the microphone here. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you like this, and subscribe to the channel by pressing here. And see you next week. Bye bye. Woo! Okay. Thank you. What? What?
What?
What?
Huh?
What? What?
Nothing was said.
Right, like I was saying.
Do you want to know the secrets of magic?
I want to see that one. That actually looked pretty
Do you
interesting.
want to be the person everybody's talking about? I stole her phone. For the last 25 years, I've been exploring the wonderful world of magic. And now, I want to share my knowledge with you. In this
Really?
online magic school of 12 courses, you will step into the inner circle of magic.
Magic school.
If you commit to this and learn all the techniques, you will experience that magic becomes real. I mean, when you take an object, you put it in your hand, you squeeze it, and it disappears. I've been touring around the world as a magician, and the thing I love the most is to see the eyes of a person that sees the magic for the first time. And I want to inspire you to do the same and spread love and happiness around the world.
Okay.
My name is Julian, and this is my magic school.
He has an online school. I wonder how much the cover
Thank you guys
charges.
so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. For me, this is a statement. It's about, you know, making suspicious things and make people think and question. So, hope you liked this video. Put a thumbs up if you want me to do more of this kind of videos, and subscribe and press the bell. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Okay. And the whole thing with magic, the magic part of it, of all this, is that I want to mention is, you know, a lot of it is done with like technology nowadays. Like, you know, like with the technology and the little gizmos and mechanisms that exist now. I mean, I guarantee you, like 90% of these magic tricks is done through some sort of technology or some sort of remote and sensor. I'm 9 times out of 10 that, or some sort of like piece that like can fold into like small pieces, or basically build up into something big. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I would probably pay for the online magic school, like a lot of people would, even though it might not even teach us anything, but just because it sounds interesting. I mean, it's a good sales prop. I mean, he's definitely going to make money off of it if he hasn't already. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like super rich off of this. Yeah, good idea. Magic school. That way you ain't have to see no one in person. Just put it online and just have people just go to the website, pay, and pay, and pay. The good magicians make a lot of money. Okay, let's go to the next one. I got another one here. Today is Halloween. Wow.
What the fuck? That's not fun. She's about to die. Oh my god.
I mean, if you saw something that big, especially out like on a crowded street like that, you would probably think it's like a sewer rat too, like without actually staring and like looking at it. You're like, whoa, what is that?
Okay, you guys ready?
Ready. I'm here.
Oh, that was a good one. That was funny. I like that. What the? This man literally just like crossed the rat over, spun around, and juked him down the staircase. Like, what was that? That's hilarious. Wow.
That shit still got me scared.
What? Like that whole crowd missed that. Like the last second. Hey, I'm surprised those police down the street aren't like saying nothing to him about it. Like they gotta know they're down there doing that. Wow. And she barely was scared of that. She was like, "Oh, what's that?" They just kept going. My man completely is clueless. Like he just missed that whole thing. They didn't even care. They were like, whatever. We see those every day. He was really going up. Yo, what? They didn't even care. They didn't even care. They were like, whatever. He kicked it.
Don't kill our rats! Don't kill our rats!
Don't kill our rats, he said. Don't kill our rats. He tried to step on the tail.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was good. I like that trick. They almost only had one casualty when that one guy was doing the whole juke and like he was dribbling past Mike Jordan or something like that and jumped down the staircase. Yeah, he almost got messed up, but that was okay. I like that one. All right, I got another one. Let's drop another one. Why not? It's Halloween. I'm gonna actually give a story this time. Let's go check out some MrBallen. I haven't done MrBallen in a while. Let's see what MrBallen's been up to. We're gonna end it off with a nice little true story about fear. So let's go ahead and check that out by MrBallen, ex-Navy SEAL. Yeah, you know he recently just got offered an actual contract with like HBO Max doing because they have a new like scary, I guess like HBO original coming out. And I guess they allowed him to promote the new series on his YouTube channel. He was really excited about that. But anyway, definitely go over and check his YouTube channel, MrBallen. And the guys we just watched was Meet the Lobsters. It's a couple YouTube team. As you just saw, those two guys with the little fake rat going across the street. You can go over to their YouTube channel, Meet the Lobsters, and like, subscribe to the video, and definitely same for mine, Boss Reactions. Okay, let's get into MrBallen. Never swim in this river. Let's go.
Today's story is about a real-life nightmare that occurred on a thin stretch of black water in northern Australia. This particular story has inspired two fairly popular horror movies from 2007. They are Blackwater and Rogue. But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of these strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you come to the right place because that's all we do, and we upload 1 or 2 times every week. So if that's of interest to you, the next time the like button asks for a snack, offer to get them one, and then proceed to heat up a cup o' noodles in the microwave for about 77 minutes, and then serve it to them in a flimsy paper cup. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's story.
My man trying to scold people. He trying to burn people with the ramen noodles. MrBallen. Okay. Blackwater.
At 11:40 a.m. on December 21st, 2003, 3 young men who were longtime childhood friends hopped in a truck and began traveling south. They were 22-year-old Brett Mann and 19-year-olds Sean Blowers and Ashley McGuff. They lived in a coastal city called Darwin, which is actually the capital of the Northern Territory in Australia. The Northern Territory, also known as the Top End, is located in the central north of the continent. It is 6 times larger than the UK, but has 280 times less people living in it. Specifically, the UK is home to roughly 70 million people, whereas the Top End is home to only 250,000 people, and half of them live in Darwin. There are many reasons why the Top End is so underpopulated, ranging from politics to poor infrastructure, but the most obvious reason that so few people choose to live in this part of Australia is because it is wildly rugged and dangerous. It is scorchingly hot year-round, and the weather in general is just unbelievably unpredictable and violent. And, as the old saying goes, all the animals there are trying to kill you and each other. But Brett, Sean, and Ashley had grown up in Darwin, and so they were accustomed to the hazards of living in the Top End, and so they weren't really concerned about them. What they were concerned with was finding things to do and not getting bored in the city. That particular day, in order to ward off boredom, the trio had decided they would head out to a salt flat that was located about 50 miles to the southwest of Darwin. It was this wide open plain that they could just race around on their quad bikes on. And so they loaded these quad bikes into their trailer, attached it to their truck, they hopped in their truck, and at 11:40 a.m. they started heading south out of Darwin. The first road they were on was this fairly desolate dirt road that wound around through the wilderness, and it passed by the iconic eucalyptus trees that are very well known in Australia. It passed by palm trees and giant termite mounds, and after driving on this dirt road for about 30 minutes, the trio passed by the Tumbling Waters Holiday Park, which is a vacation resort for adventurous families. And then beyond this park, there really was no more civilization. They were headed right into the outback of Australia, and so this was kind of like the last mark of civilization. And so the trio, they drive for another 30 minutes past the park, and at some point, all of the trees on either side of the road start getting more and more dense until they begin kind of encroaching over the road, as if it looks like you're driving directly through the heart of a jungle. And they would have recognized this change in scenery as meaning they were nearing the Finnis River, which was off to their right beyond all of the trees. So they couldn't see it, but they knew they were close. And the Finnis River was not a huge waterway. It was a 30-mile stretch that ran east to west through the Top End. And what it was known for was being very brackish and dark. You could not see into this water more than maybe an inch or two. So
That looks like a stream that they found in I believe it was in Africa. They found a stream that looked very similar to this, and it was like a picture of a snake, and the snake was literally like something stupid, like over 100 feet long or something like that. I was like, what? They were trying to say it was some sort of anaconda, like water anaconda. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the largest anaconda was over 100 feet. I could be wrong. I think the longest anaconda I ever heard of was probably like maybe 60 feet. But yeah, that's pretty huge, though. I mean, that's like really, really huge. Should I say 60 feet? No, I think they did find an anaconda somewhere between 40 and 60 feet. I don't know. I'll research it after this.
almost appeared black. And so the trio continued driving along through this kind of jungle atmosphere until the left side of the road began to thin out again, and then it eventually revealed the salt flats up to their left. And so at that point, the trio pulled off on the right side of the road where the vegetation was still very thick. And then the trio hopped out of the truck, they went around to their trailer, they dropped the gate, and one by one they pulled their quad bikes off, and then each of them hopped on and drove out onto the flats. That day, the flats were actually very muddy because it had recently rained really heavy in that area. And so the trio spent just as much time racing each other on the flats as they did trying to drive close to each other and spray mud on each other. And so for hours they were out there having a great time. And then at 4:30 p.m. they decided it was time to call it a day. And so they drove back over to the truck. They drove their quad bikes up onto the trailer. They locked it. And then they were about to get into the truck to head back home when one of them suggested, hey, let's head down to the water and rinse our clothes off and get all this mud off of us. Now, you need to understand, in the Top End, the place you want to spend the least amount of time in is the water. People in the Top End assume that in any natural water body that is not clearly designated as a swimming area has at least one animal lurking in it that will kill you. This is a literal precaution people in the top end take. And so this section of the Finnis River that these three friends were thinking about going and jumping into and washing off inside of, this was not a clearly designated swimming area, and so it should be avoided. But you need to remember, these three guys, they grew up in the top end. They were used.
But that's what I'm saying. These three guys grew up in Darwin, whatever like that, northern part of Australia. It's like, and they've been told about these animals out there that kill anything and everything that moves, then they should know not to go into water, especially where it's already been stated, and there's a sign and everything out there saying like, hey, there's at least one animal in this water that will kill you. Why even think about going in the water? Just
to living in this kind
I guess they really are from Darwin. If anyone gets that. Okay.
of wild area, and they'd also come to the salt flats so many times over the years, and they had jumped into the Finnis River before to wash off and go swimming, and nothing had ever happened. And so really the idea that the Finnis River could be dangerous to them, it didn't really cross their mind. They felt like, you know what, we've been there, done that, nothing's going to happen to us. And so they left the truck and walked away from the salt flats into this mangrove forest that's only a couple of feet off the road, and began walking towards this river. Normally, the trip from the road through the forest to the river bank, basically where the forest ended and you reach the river, it would take about 10 minutes. But after walking in this mangrove for maybe a minute, they were already standing in river water. It was only a couple of inches of this water, but it signaled to the guys that clearly the river is very swollen from all of the recent rains, enough so that it overflowed beyond its natural boundaries and it's flooded the mangrove forest. But the three guys, they look at each other and think, meh, what's the big deal? I'm sure we'll be fine. And so the guys continued moving on, but as the mangroves began to thin out, they began to slow down dramatically because the riverbanks on the edges of the Finnis River were very, very steep. If you were standing on dry land, if there was no flooding, and you were right on the edge of the Finnis River, if you took even 1 or 2 steps into the river, you would slip down under the water and the water would be over your head. Now, as these guys are walking, because the ground is flooded with this black, brackish water, they couldn't see the ground, and so they couldn't tell where the drop-off into the river was. And so they began to slow down, and then when all the trees were practically gone, they knew they were close, and then one of them actually slipped and kind of tumbled down the edge for a second, but he turned and he grabbed one of the roots of the mangrove tree and pulled himself back up. And then the other two, after seeing this, they walked over and stood next to him, and the trio just stood there looking out at this pitch black looking river that was very clearly moving faster than normal because of all this excess rain. But they kind of looked at each other and thought, you know what, it's not that big of a deal. We'll hold on to the roots of these mangroves and lower ourselves over the embankment. We'll wash ourselves off, pull ourselves back up. No big deal. And so they each turned around and grabbed a root of one of the many mangrove trees that marked the edge of this forest, and while holding on, they would lower their lower half down past the embankment until they were submerged. They rubbed all the mud off of themselves, being very careful not to let go of the mangrove at any point. And then as they were about to finish up and pull themselves back up and get back to their truck, Brett loses his balance and somehow lets go of the mangrove root and slips down the steep embankment, and suddenly the current takes him away from his friends and out to the middle of this river, and before long he's getting pulled downstream. And so he yells out to Ashley and Sean, who had their backs turned to him. They turn around, they see their friend, and they instinctively leap into the river to try to go get him and help swim him back to the side. Now, all three of them were very competent swimmers, and so this was not a high panic situation. This was more like a inconvenience and maybe a little bit funny, and so that's why they leapt in no problem. They figured, worst case scenario is we'll drift somewhere down there and we'll get out and we'll walk our way back to our car. But as soon as Sean and Ashley were free floating in this river, they felt how strong this current was, and it was way stronger than they were anticipating. And so they actually started to get a little bit worried, and they looked up ahead of them, and Brett, who had been in the water for 10 or 15 seconds before they leapt in, he had already moved way farther downstream than them. And so they decided, you know what, we have to get out, but we need to get to Brett first. We all need to get out at the same place. And so they decide they're going to swim downstream, meet up with Brett, and then get the heck out of that river as fast as they possibly can. And so they yell out to Brett, hey, we're coming to get you. and they start swimming as fast as they possibly can, and with the help of the current, they manage to get all the way up to Brett relatively quickly, maybe a couple of minutes. And when they reach him, Sean and Ashley go in front of Brett, and then the three of them, they stop actively swimming, and they allow the current to just kind of carry them downstream. And as they're drifting, they begin scouting the left side of the river for a solid clump of mangrove trees they can swim into. Because unless there's something to grab onto on the edge of this river, they can't pull themselves out. And so at this point, the trio is definitely uncomfortable being in the water because of how strong that current is, but they're confident they're going to find a viable landing spot and they're going to get out of here and it will be a great story. And so Sean is in the front, Ashley is right behind him, and then Brett is behind Ashley. And they're all about an arm's length away from each other. And they're drifting down this river for a couple of minutes. They're looking on the left side for a viable landing spot. And then all of a sudden, Ashley just yells out, "Hey, I see something in the water. We need to get out. Find the nearest tree. Get out, get out, get out." And so Sean, he starts panicking. He doesn't even turn around to see what's going on behind him. Adrenaline kicks in and he swims as fast as he possibly can to a tree that's popped out of the river. It's literally growing in the middle of the river. And so he swims up to this tree. He manages to climb up to the first fork of the tree, which is maybe 6 or 8 feet above the water. And as soon as he's up there, he turns around and looks down and he sees Ashley. He reaches down and he hoists Ashley up to the first fork with him. And then the pair turn around again to grab Brett, but Brett's not there. And so they look around, they're thinking, okay, did Brett not make it to the tree? Did the current pull him around? Is he at some other tree? You know, they're yelling out for him, they're looking for him, but there's no Brett. And so they're talking to each other, Ashley and Sean. They're saying, hey, did he call out? Did you hear something?
That is exactly why I do not swim in rivers and lakes anywhere. I don't care if it's the safest lake or river. If animals have access to it, I'm not swimming in it. I mean, just look at the American alligator. I mean, look at Florida. I mean, you got these reptiles that literally go in people's backyards and like just take a dip in their swimming pools. You know, like it's way too many stories about these creatures that are amphibious, you know, that are land and water that actually can kill a human easy. And it's like people go out to these like woods and forests and they skinny dip and they go swimming in these lakes and rivers. Nope. Nope. Once you actually start to understand the animal kingdom, it's like, why would you even try that? There's too much stuff in the water that can kill you. It's just ridiculous.
Did he give some indication about where he was going? And they're saying, no, I don't know where he is. And so they start climbing up the tree a little bit and trying to look down and up the river to see if maybe they can see him. And then all of a sudden, Sean notices something yellow flash beneath them in the water. And so he looks straight down and he sees this yellow thing down there. And so he nudges Ashley and he says, look. And so Ashley looks down, and as they're looking, they're about 10 feet off the water at this point. They see this yellow thing start rising up to the surface.
Okay, so let me understand this. So, okay, all three boys one of the boys lost his gripping on the side of the river bed, where the tree stumps were or whatever, and the current took him out down the stream in this river. So, it was 3 boys. So the other 2 boys let go to go try and get the first one that let go. Once they all got a hold of each other, they wanted to try and swim as the current was pulling them to try and grab one of the tree stumps, you know, so they can pull themselves up out of the river. But then they said they saw something in the water, and 2 of the boys found a tree growing out the middle of the river. They climbed the tree, and as they were looking down, they couldn't see their friend. Then they see something yellow rising to the top. Okay, this is getting interesting. All right, let's go, MrBallen.
Now, the water is so dark, they really can't tell what anything is unless it is at the surface. And so they're watching this yellow thing, and suddenly it comes out of the water, and they see it's Brett. He's got his yellow jacket on. That's what they saw. And Brett is in the mouth of a 13-foot-long saltwater crocodile. Ooh. He is face down, and his left side is being held in this animal's mouth, and he's not moving. And so Sean and Ashley are so scared, they're just frozen. They're just staring at this monster that's in the water, that's holding their friend underwater, and they can't do anything about it. And for 2 minutes, they just stand there looking at this animal, wondering what's going to happen. And for those entire 2 minutes, the crocodile stared right back up at Ashley and Sean, as if it was showing them what it was going to do to them once they got in the water. That I've done this to your friend, I'm getting you to as well. And so they're staring at this animal when suddenly it just kind of goes underneath the water, back down into the black abyss, and it, along with Brett, just disappear. Ashley and Sean are so terrified that they can't even grieve for their friend. They can't feel sad for him. It's like they just go into survival mode. And without saying anything to each other, they just start climbing up this tree as fast and as far as they possibly can. And they only manage to get up maybe a couple more feet to 2 more branches. One's at about 10 or 12 feet off the water, and the other is at about 15 feet off the water. And so Sean makes it onto the lower branch, and then Ashley makes it onto the slightly higher branch. And then once they're situated on their branch and one arm is firmly wrapped around the trunk of the tree, they're able to kind of breathe for a second and take stock of their situation. And even though, of course, the elephant in the room here is that their friend was just eaten by a crocodile, but it's like they can't process that yet. Instead, they start talking about, okay, well, our families, they're going to recognize our absence, and they're going to tell the police, and the police are going to launch a search, and they're going to come find us. Both of them were confident, or they acted confident, that that was going to happen, but they also knew that there was no timeline for this. It could be hours or days until this actually happened. And so as these two teens are sitting on their branches, the reality of their situation really started to come crashing down on them. Because yeah, they're safe in this tree, but how long can they possibly stay in this tree for? I mean, eventually they're going to need to fall asleep. And if they fall asleep, are they going to fall out of the tree and land in the water with this crocodile? I mean, they just didn't know how this was going to turn out. And so as the two began comforting each other, reassuring each other that, oh no, it's going to be just fine. Someone's going to find us tonight or tomorrow. We'll be just fine. As they're doing that, Ashley suddenly stops talking to Sean and just looks straight down. And so Sean realizes what Ashley's doing, and he matches his gaze. And he looks straight down, and at the base of their tree, in that black water, is the 13-foot-long saltwater crocodile. It's back, and it no longer has Brett in its mouth. They have no idea where Brett is. He's just gone. Saltwater crocodiles are considered the most aggressive and dangerous crocodiles in the world. And they are one of only 2 crocodile species that will actively hunt humans when given a chance. And so these two teens are helpless in this tree. All they have is some separation from the black water and this animal down below. And so they just find themselves staring straight down at this crocodile. And in turn, this crocodile just stares right back up at them. It's very clearly waiting for them. It wants them to come out of the tree so it can eat them. And so the crocodile just continuously repositions itself all around the tree. It's just keeping the top of its head out of the water so its eyes can look up at them. And so the teens are just praying that at some point it will grow tired of them and will leave.
Bro, this is like a modern day Jurassic Park right here. Like, this completely reminds me of that scene where, like, the brother and the sister, like from Jurassic Park Part 1, where they were like hiding in like the kitchen, and the velociraptors were like opening doors and like looking for them down each section of the kitchen. That was like the creepiest part of that whole movie for me, was the velociraptors. This right here is like a real life situation that reminds me of it. Like, that would be so scary to be in a situation. 13-foot saltwater crocodile. Those things can run too. I heard they run faster than like 18 miles an hour. Ain't no human outrunning that. But it's only in short bursts. They can only really run in a straight line. So if you like zigzag on the croc, it can't catch you. But like, yeah, they can run like 18 to 20 miles an hour. Like, that's fast. Like, humans normally run somewhere between like probably like 8 and 12 miles an hour, averagely. Unless you're like Usain Bolt, like he's like the fastest human. I think he runs something crazy. But still, I mean, that's fast.
And after several hours, right as the sun is about to set, this crocodile does seem to give up on them, and it drifts under the water and disappears. After a couple of minutes, Sean, who was on the slightly lower branch, decides he doesn't want to be any closer to the water than he needs to be, and he's going to climb up to Ashley's branch. And so he very carefully stands up on his branch. He makes sure he's got solid footing, and then he reaches up and he grabs a branch with his right hand, and he kind of tests it, and he feels like it's pretty sturdy, and then he puts all his weight on it and tries to reach for another branch when this one breaks. And as soon as that branch broke, Sean tumbled 10 feet into the water. And so he hits the water, he goes all the way under, he sinks a few feet under, and immediately he's turned around and he's trying to swim as fast as he can to the surface, and he's just expecting at any moment this crocodile is going to bite him. He gets to the surface and he looks around. It's a little bit dark, but he can immediately see his tree, and he realizes the current has pulled him away from his tree. And so in a panic, he starts swimming and kicking his legs as hard as he possibly can to get back to this tree. And he knows the whole time he's kicking his legs, he's just attracting the attention of this crocodile, but he's got nothing else he can do. He's got no other tree he can reasonably get to that will provide safety from this animal. And so with every ounce of energy he's got, he kicks and swims, and finally he manages to grab a root of this tree that his friend is still inside of, and he begins pulling himself with his lower half still submerged in the water. And so as he's dragging himself towards the trunk of this tree, he's just waiting for this crocodile to bite down on his legs, and finally he gets to the trunk of the tree and he's able to pull his body out of the water, and he clambers up to that original branch he was on, and then he and Ashley work to get him up to Ashley's branch. And as soon as he sits down next to Ashley and he's secure, they both look down, and just a little ways away from the tree, basically in the area where Sean had just landed in the water, they see, with the little light that is left, this crocodile swimming right back over to the tree. And
Oh, that's crazy. Hello? Can you give me like 15 minutes? I'm in the middle of shooting a YouTube video right now. I'm actually in the middle of shooting a YouTube video right now. I'm almost done with it. I got like 15 minutes, but I started getting text messages, and I'm like reading the messages as I'm like trying to like do the video. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, so... All right then. Okay. All right. Bye.
it camps out right underneath. Sean had gotten out just in time. When the sun finally did set about 10 or 15 minutes later, it became pitch black. There's no ambient light in this part of the world. There aren't any buildings or cities close enough to this area, and so it is truly pitch black. And so they could no longer see the crocodile down below. But they knew it was there because periodically they would hear it repositioning itself right underneath them. Also, because it was so dark, the two teens could not actually see each other. And so they began holding on to each other, and then anytime either of them moved, they would announce their movement to the other, just so they knew they had not fallen asleep and were not falling out of the tree to a horrible death. And so a few hours went by like this, where it was silence with the exception of the sounds of this crocodile repositioning itself periodically. A little after midnight, a huge storm rolled into this area, and it began absolutely downpouring, and the raindrops that were hitting the river were so loud that the teens could no longer hear the sound of this crocodile, and so they had no idea if it was still down below them or not. But every time lightning would strike, it would illuminate the sky for that flash of a second, and in that flash they would look down, and there would be the crocodile. After several hours of this super intense downpour, the two teens also started to become concerned that all this additional rain could raise the water level of the river all the way up high enough that this crocodile might be able to jump out and reach their legs. But because it was so dark, they couldn't actually see the top of the water, and so they had no way of knowing if the water levels were actually rising or not. And so they both kind of sucked their legs up onto this branch and tried to make themselves as small as they could while still remaining anchored to each other and also to the branch. And that's how they sat for the next several hours, just hoping they would survive the night. Finally, when the sun came up that following morning, the teens immediately noticed that the crocodile was still right below them, just lurking at the base of the tree waiting for them, and they also noticed the water level of the river had clearly come up quite a bit.
That would be so creepy. Could you imagine, like, in the middle of the woods, like, where nobody lives? I mean, like, you're just in complete wilderness, and in the middle of a riverbed where you know there's a 13-foot saltwater crocodile just waiting for you, and you're in the pitch black of night? Like, and the water is rising? Oh my God, I would be frightened. You know, crocodiles can launch themselves, like, up out of the water, you know? They can easily come out of the water and probably easily sit at least half of their length, you know, out of the water. I mean, it can snatch one of them if really try. That's scary. Yeah, that's really scary.
And so if they weren't rescued soon, there was a good chance that another heavy rainstorm, that crocodile would be in range of them, and there was nowhere they could go. They were as high up as they could get. Not to mention the fact they were hypothermic, they were weak, they were tired, and if you fall asleep, you're going to fall in the water. And so the two teens, they knew they did not have much time left. Luckily, at 10 a.m. that morning, they heard the sound of a police officer who was out in the mangrove forest. It turned out their families had recognized their absence. They had called the police, and that morning a search had been launched. They had found their truck and then had been walking down the river yelling out to them, and then they finally did find them. Initially, when they located these two teens stuck in the tree, they called in a helicopter to hover over them and lower down a ladder that could climb back up. But when the helicopter got close to this tree, the rotor wash from the spinning blades, it practically blew the boys out of the tree, and this crocodile was still in the water. The rescuers could see it, the boys could still see it, and so there was this fear that the helicopter would literally send them into the water to their death. And so they had to abandon the helicopter approach. However, the blades of that helicopter did ultimately scare this crocodile, and the crocodile swam away. And so as soon as the helicopter was off station, they had a boat come in, and the boat got right underneath the two boys. They jumped down into it, and they were brought to safety. The two boys were brought to a hospital where doctors determined they were physically okay, but both of them were severely traumatized from what they had just been through. As for Brett, despite an exhaustive search of that river, they never found his body or any of his clothing or any belongings he had on him, and they never found the crocodile that killed him. So that's going to do it, guys. If you found the secret in today's episode, let us know in the comments section what it is and where you found it, so give us the timestamp. And if you're the first to do that, we'll pin you at the top of the comments section.
That's crazy. So I guess the guy Brett was eaten, and they never found him, any of his clothing, and they never found the crocodile. You know, with it being a saltwater crocodile, it probably just swam back out the sea. That's crazy. Like, that's why I don't play around with rivers, man. Like, you don't know. I mean, there's also a shark that can also survive in rivers and lakes. I believe it's a bull shark. Bull sharks have been known to come inland out of the ocean and basically go down rivers, you know, and such like that. It's like this saltwater crocodile and actually eat humans. Like, it was a story like way back in the day in like the 1900s, where like some town here in I think it was in America, where a bull shark had somehow entered a riverbed, a river stream, and through the stream connected to like it was like a water source for the town, whatever like that. And this bull shark killed like a crazy amount of kids, like, you know, that played in the water and adults and everything like that. And no one believed it for a long time, but they finally figured out it was a shark, and they were like, "What?" And that's when, you know, scientists came to realize that bull sharks can survive in like fresh water. They don't have to survive in you know, ocean water. So it's insane.
If you got something out of today's episode and you haven't done this already, the next time the like button asks for a snack, offer to give them one, and proceed to heat up a cup o' noodles in the microwave for about 77 minutes, and then serve it to them in a flimsy paper cup. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly 1 or 2 video uploads. We are now selling merchandise like flannels and hats and sweatshirts and all sorts of stuff. If you're interested, go to shopmrballen.com. If you want to learn about upcoming deals and promotions for our shop, go to our shop's Instagram page. The username is shopmrballen. If you want to get in touch with me, you can direct message me on Instagram or on Twitter. My username is the same for both platforms. It's just MrBallen. I also have a ton of content over on TikTok, where my username is also MrBallen. We have a second YouTube channel just called MrBallen Shorts, where we post random short videos and lost episodes. We also have a Facebook page just called MrBallen, where we post condensed versions of the longer episodes you see on YouTube. If you have a story suggestion, please submit it to our subreddit just called MrBallen. It's linked in the description below. So whether I see you on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, Facebook, or some combination, just know that I really appreciate your support. And until next time, that's going to do it. See ya.
Wow. Okay, so that was a pretty interesting story. MrBallen coming through as usual. Okay, so man, that's crazy. I don't know what's more crazy, the fact that the boy was eaten by a 13-foot saltwater crocodile, or the fact that MrBallen told us to warm up ramen noodle in a microwave for 77 minutes and then serve it in a flimsy cup. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to call it for today. You know, happy Halloween, everybody. You know, I gave us 3 tonight. They were pretty good. You know, definitely. I'll be definitely shooting some more videos here soon in the upcoming future. Definitely like, subscribe, hit that bell icon on the Boss Reactions YouTube channel so you get any future updates. And yeah, so let's go ahead and finish this out. All right. All right, guys. So there we go. That was my Halloween special for Boss Reactions. Okay, so I hope you guys liked it. Yeah, that last story about MrBallen, that was pretty crazy. I mean, because the thing is, you know, whenever you listen to MrBallen on YouTube, 99% of the time you're going to get like a legit story, like something that's actually factual that actually happened and people lost their lives. You know, it's actually a real scenario. I swear, like looking at one of MrBallen's YouTube videos and reacting to it is like literally watching true crimes, like on that one channel, True TV or whatever the case may be. But anyway, yeah, that was crazy with the whole like saltwater crocodile, because those are like the most aggressive like reptiles on the planet. I mean, size wise too. I mean, they're the biggest. I mean, those are probably the last thing closest to like a modern day dinosaur would probably be the saltwater crocodile. And like I said, those things can run pretty fast. They can outrun a human in short distance. We can beat them in long range. In a long range run, we can outrun crocodiles. But in a short range, like if you're close to one and it takes off after you, oh yeah, they can lift their entire weight up. Their body weight is up. It's off the ground. They're coming at you full speed. Some people just get in shock and they don't move, and next thing you know, they snatched up in those jaws. That's it. So, yeah, like it's a lot of stories about crocodiles that can run long distance, which I think is not true, but there are some myths, like I said, in Africa, where they mentioned that there was a crocodile chasing people down and actually eating them, which is pretty crazy to think about, having like an actual modern day dinosaur hunt you and chase you down like we are living in like prehistoric times. Like that's even crazy to think about. But supposedly there were like tribes in Africa this was actually happening to. And I was like, wow, really? Insane. Okay, so yeah, definitely. Thanks again for watching. Check me out when I upload the next videos. Definitely like and subscribe to the channel, Boss Reactions. Hit that bell icon on the side right there so you get any new updates happening with me in the channel for the reaction. All right, and as always, boss up.